Scorpio.
Hello Scorpio, and Happy New Year 2013. We're going to be looking at your forecast for January to see what's coming up for you. And I'd like to start out with that there is a lot of things going on in your life, and you might feel so busy with a lot of extra responsibility that's on your plate, and you know all about that. Especially here from just, I'd probably say from October, this energy kind of came in and placed even more so burdens or restrictions or responsibilities on your plate, as if you didn't already have a lot going on, which you did. But see, it's a period for you to really start growing and expanding with that sense of responsibility, and really learning to know what is important to you, what values are important, what is authentic to you. So I see you kind of like stripping away what pretty much before could have been important, you know, but it's like stripping away those things and sacrificing a few things so that you can really focus in on the most important. So you might feel a little bit more serious and maybe a little bit more stern in taking these decisions right now, but it's also empowering you. I see how you're really coming into your own by making these choices to both simplify your life a little bit more, but also because you're needing to. There is just, it's like the universe has dumped a lot on you. And now for January, we can see, especially now because the Sun and Mercury and Venus will be joining up, Pluto and the new moon is going to be in your third house. So that has a lot to do with communication. It could also be siblings, could also be short distance traveling coming in, or people coming in from out of town to visit and stay. And but mainly I see it's like within this field, and it's learning. Your curve now is all about learning about communication and how you communicate and what you communicate. I think is really what's totally empowering you as the human being that you are in this new growth, because you're transforming, you're becoming more of a person now to be reckoned with from the higher ups. It's like your own sense of authority is growing stronger. There's this sense of maturity coming in, and it doesn't matter what age you are. You could be in your 40s, 50s, 60s. You can be in your teens and really feel that this maturity coming in is really setting you up for what you're going to be doing in the coming years. So January is going to be busy on the close front, should I say, in your community, not in the home as well, but also in the community around you. There may be a lot of people wanting to seek you out for your advice, to talk. There will be phone calls and short visits, and you running off having to do a lot of meetings and short visits. So it's a time of what should I say, companionship in so many regards, but also trying to balance it with the work that you have cut out for you as well. So don't get overstressed. Try to find a little time for yourself. And I feel that from mid-January, probably around the 19th, I believe it is, when Venus kind of enters this same area, it's going to be a very light-spirited mode for you, where things are going to be jovial and just pleasant. So the first part of the month, you will have Venus going through your second house of income, your personal funds and how you use them, what you want to use them on, what you want to put aside, which I don't really see that you're putting aside too much. It's more like you want to spend, okay? And that's all good. Any objects that are beautiful, artwork and such, or whether you want to use it on yourself personally, to beautify yourself, doing spas, for example. Great time to do that in January. And we have Neptune. Let's talk a little bit about Neptune, because that is now in your fifth house. Started last year, and a lot of us got to have a little feel of how that was before it retrograded, went back into Aquarius, but since it's moved forward and it's coming into Pisces to stay, so it's going to be launching itself. For you having this in the 5th house, that's your children. So you can see that your children perhaps will be taking on a very Neptunian quality, and it's important to listen to them when they come with their little dreams, for example. It's a very creative sign. You might see how they're going to be expressing their talents, for example. But then again, it's also showing that your children will be possessing a lot more, should I say, intuitive qualities, psychic energies. They may have visions and dreams, and pay attention to that and support them in it. You know, let them talk about it and get this out, because it's their subconsciousness and their higher selves, and not to mention their higher chakras. It looks like your children are in the forefront now, really opening up the veil, so to speak, and whatever they can get now in this time, and it's going to be there for several years now, but whatever they can get from you at this time, leading them, guiding them, and giving them the grounding that they need, this is going to be pretty much a part of their future path. So don't shut them down, because when we shut off our chakras or the chakras of our children and say, oh, don't say that, that's nonsense, we shut down their spiritual growth. These children, a lot of these children coming in now, they're born with their antennas, that their funnel is totally open, and you're the lucky one, the lucky parents, to be able to hand by hand guide them. And thank goodness that you have this spirituality and this understanding in yourself as well, so that you can tutor them in the best possible manner. Now, but your own creativity as well, don't forget that. This is Neptune also in your house for creativity and fun and joy, and where you're going to be using your time for leisure will be to seek out or go deeper into spiritual and metaphysical areas in your own life, because it's like there's a calling, a spiritual calling for you to become closer to what you hold close to heart, and that's going to be with you for several years too. And it might also indicate that you're going to be reaching for friends that have this, so you can grow together with them as a group. Now, within the work arena, yes, it is busy for you, but you're so conscientious, and you pay good attention to detail, and you follow up and you follow through. That is your nature. But I see there with Uranus in your area of co-workers and assignments, day-to-day assignments, having to follow up. It's like, ooh, there's a push. You got Uranus and Pluto here square. And so between what you can get done and what is expected of you, it's like, ooh, you're between a rock and a hard place. And your intentions are so wonderful because you want to fulfill what you set out to do. But it might just be a little too much. So if need be sure that you minimize some of this, okay? Because this area also rules your health. So you don't want to strain yourself to the point where you're going to come to a breaking point, where it's like if you don't take time off when you need it, the universe will look out for you and help you take some time off. And that may be by some outer circumstance, unexpected circumstance, or you might find that you might get the flu a little bit more often, or you might just something, so you can stay home a little bit. And you don't need to go there. You don't need to go push your body. There's other people out there that are fully capable as well to go in and do some of those deeds that you're trying to complete all by yourself, only because you have this pride, you have this incredible, beautiful pride that you want to live up to what is expected of you. But you know what? You're human too. Don't forget that, you know? We have Mars moving through the area of the home, so expect January to be lively, busy, you know. And Mars is men and sons and boys, I mean, you know, as in sons. So it's going to be a lively period there, and you might be spending extra time or energy also within the home environment with what is going on there. You might be looking to wanting to renovate or fix things. It's a great time to start any kind of fixer-uppers or DIYs. And Jupiter, I see, is in your 8th house, so that is commissions, royalties, and it is other people's money. You might be waiting for something to come to you from those sources. Jupiter has been retrograde for a while, so you might have seen that there has been little delays perhaps. It's also what rules your abundance, and when it's in the 8th house, be careful that you don't place too much money out there, because it could also indicate losses, for example, or that you have gone through some losses here in 2012. So you want to make sure that you know you invest only what you know you can invest. And then that said, on the flip side of this, you might hit the jackpot and get some huge investments coming back to you when Jupiter is present in this area. So it can work both ways. Just be very wise about how you're thinking to place your funds, your values. We have the new moon coming in there on the 11th. We're going to get back to that. That's also in that area of the neighbors and friends and siblings and visits and whatnot. So let's take a look at some very important dates for you that you can put down on your calendar, because it's going to be a busy month. We start off here on the 4th with Mars and Jupiter being very friendly to one another, so you might get some good news here on the 4th. It could be anything that has to do with some action and some generosity, and there's foreign places or foreign people, or hearing great news from afar. The 6th is a great time to do any kind of paperwork or signing any contracts. The 7th, you want to lay low and stay out of any conflict, especially other people's conflict. There might be somebody who might feel a little bit stressed and kind of just project it out there on you. Don't buy into it if you know that you're not really the originator of it, or that it doesn't belong to you. Just kind of put that aside. Don't be too reactive, because it's going to go over really, really quick. When Venus moves into Capricorn there on the 8th, you will see that it's going to be a very happy and fun time. You're heading towards that new moon there on the 11th, which I believe if you're going to have any big party or get together, this would be the time to have it, just because you have all these joyous planets coming together, and it's also a good time for you to sow any new intentions for the month. Then we're looking at the 16th, 17th, which are days of passion. Anything that you're passionate about, it could be anything related to work, it could be your other, you know, it could be love related, it could be financial. Venus rules values and money, and Pluto values everything that is big, so big things coming in there on the 16th. And I also see how that could be securing you and what it is you're trying to work for. And this is between, it's focused on you. Definitely things that are around you that you can, what should I say, secure yourself for the coming weeks and months, because Saturn's there, and you know Saturn moves slowly, but it's looking out for you to financially secure something. So be good to know what you sign on those days. And then we have a happy day, happy days, 25th, 26th coming up, with when Sun and Jupiter kind of aligns harmoniously. So mark that for any good time out on town, or with friends, or with family. And then look for the full moon coming in here on the 26th, which for you will be there in your 10th house. If you're going to have talks with superiors there earlier in the month, this is probably when you're going to get some feedback of how things will work for you. I think cutting back on excess work is the key for you this month, okay? Find that happy balance, happy medium. If you have other things going on that are important, pay attention to that, because it is your day-to-day environment that really is going to be ruling. And set the other things aside. You can always catch up on that later. You know, February and March is coming around too. So anyway, do listen to your moon sign and your ascending sign, just so you can get a little bit more fuller aspects of what's going on there with you. And be sure to hit subscribe if you want other monthly forecasts being sent directly to you. So for now, thank you, and see you again.